Unbelievable, that scoreline, half-time for Richmond, and particularly for their chances of making the semi-final in the Ansett Cup. 13-7, 85 to 3-2-20. Brad Alton sensational with 4 goals, and Todd Viney has been an amazing performance here by Richmond, and they've really put themselves in a good position, as I said, to make the semi-finals. I guess that's not the sort of news that an old teammate of yours, Chris Connolly, would want to hear. Is with Hawthorn, of course. The Hawks are playing this afternoon to try and make it through with your side, the Demons. But he's joined us from Colonial Stadium. Good afternoon, Chris.
G'day, Anthony.
Well, I guess not the news you would have liked, but how will that affect the team going into the match?
I don't think it'll affect us in any way, shape or form. We always, our main objective is the process in which we play, and we just need to bounce back from last week and get that right. So that'll be the major focus, and you know, the scoreline will be a bonus at the end if we can get up and Fremantle can bounce back a bit for us.
Chris, what's Hawthorn's approach been to the Ansett Cup? Teams seem to have taken the Ansett Cup on different levels. Have you been out to win the competition?
No, I think you always go into the Ansett Cup to try and experiment with players you've had for 1 or 2 years, to try and get them, put them in positions that may help the senior team as the year unfolds, and also to try different structures and different set plays that will give you an edge as the year unfolds, and that's pretty much the focus. So if along the way you can find 1 or 2 players, improve your style of play, I think you come out of the whole thing pretty happy. And certainly the major thing about the Ansett Cup is to come out of the season with no injuries, and so far we've been lucky.
Now, what about your big gun recruit this year, Sean Wren? Lost Paul Salmon last year, but a very handy replacement in Sean Wren.
Yeah, look, I think Sean will be very nervous. He's put in a terrific summer. We're really looking forward for him to play. We need a ruckman with a big presence, and what we'll do today is put our senior on-ballers in with him to give him some confidence, whereas in the previous 2 weeks we've probably had a lot of rotating players through that area. So we'll try and put the Crawford, Chicks and Harfords around him and give him a lot of confidence, and hopefully he'll perform well.
You mentioned last week, how disappointing was the performance over there? Because after you win the first week against Richmond, a lot of people would have been expecting you to win.
Yes, it was very disappointing. I think the positive is we get to travel and we get to, you know, look at our schedule and practice some things that will help us perform. But our attitude wasn't right on the day, and we certainly suffered with our performance. But we play Fremantle in round 3, and it's given us a chance to really look at that schedule heavily and make sure we get it right for that game.
Now, Chris, the Hawthorn Footy Club has been rebuilding for perhaps the last 3 or 4 years, and you've got a core group of players that have been around the mark in the same team for that period of time. You must be confident they can go the next step this year.
Well, that's the big question. We probably need 6 or 7 players to step up into the top bracket. We probably have Shane as the only bona fide champion, although Nick kind of embraced that level last season, but we need 5 or 6 up around there to lead the way, and we expect that to happen. And then we need the John Hay and Trent Crodes and Jade Rawlings types to really improve. I think the exciting thing at Hawthorn is that the players are in an age bracket where they should improve. They've done the hard work. We think we've got a good training program in place, so we're expecting big things from the team.
And what about off-field, Chris? Membership, obviously a huge part about footy these days. Tell us a little bit about Mega March.
Well, Hawthorn is the family club, and I think more than any AFL club, they really have, their members have access to the players, and what the marketing department have done with the green light from Peter Swab is have the players totally accessible on Tuesday nights. So on Tuesday nights all through March, we'll have kick-to-kick competition, goal-kicking competitions, tours, food. It'll be a carnival-type atmosphere. And what the Hawthorn Football Club's trying to do is to say, look, we are the family club. The game is getting more and more professional, but we do feel closely attached to our members. So come down, meet the guys, and really enjoy yourself.
Well, Chris, thanks for your time this afternoon. I hope you got the earplugs ready for the players. I know you're all concerned about the sound down there this afternoon with the Grand Prix on. Good luck this afternoon.
Thanks, Anthony, but can I just finish in saying that's not right, that this closing the roof never come across the match committee or the players. And as far as Hawthorn Footy Club's concerned, you can have the F1s going around the boundary line for the whole game, because we're hoping to play in front of big crowds this year and won't have any impact on our performance.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. Chris Connolly from Colonial Stadium. They play Melbourne later on this afternoon. We'll take a break and back in a moment here at Optus Oval.
Want to turn your garden into this wonderland?
The easiest way to do that.
Want to protect your biggest investment?
You could be stopping a problem before it even starts.
Top budget ideas in the all-new Better Homes and Gardens, Tuesday, 7:30. Then, dingo's on the menu.
Getting cooked.
Discover the eighth wonder of the world just half a day from Oz. Your perfect romantic escape. And where to catch barras by hand. All new Great Outdoors, Tuesday.
Take the hat off. Don't ask for cigarettes, you'll get them later.
Okay, cuffs off. Listen in, when you hear your name called, I want your date of birth. Paul Oakley.
10/7/71.
5 years with a 3-year minimum. Joe McGuinness. 1968. Sentence, 12 months. Scott Shoebridge. 27/9/72. Okay, whilst you're in this prison, if you have any concerns about your safety, see one of the staff members and we'll deal with it.
I'm not a big fan of these cafes that you go to where you ask for a cup of tea and they give you the ingredients for a cup of tea. They give you a teapot, a tea bag, some hot water, and a cup. You go, no, that's not what I want. I want a cup of tea. Like, you don't ask someone the number for RACV home and contents insurance, and they go, oh, well, there's a couple of ones there. There's a 9, I believe, and a 5, a 3, and another 5. And you go, is that the number? And they go, no, but here's a cup of tea.
Hey guys, look at this. Easter holiday specials.
Oh, that means we're getting a holiday. Yeah!
Wrong. It means Bob's discounting us again.
Oh? Like what?
Like quality steel radials for most small cars from just $39.
No!
And don't get your treads in a twist, but Bob's also selling quality steels for most large cars from just $69.
What?
Bob's prices show us no respect.
Babu!
At Bunnings Warehouse, we have the lowest home improvement prices every day, which means you can afford to buy more. Like squeeze mop with handle, $7.98. White wire stacker baskets, 2 for $12. 2 40-litre compost bin, $36. 4-litre Wattle Solar Guard Plus, $49.80. 5-metre tape measure, $2.96. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
I've found the ultimate getaway for your next conference or function. The All Seasons International in Bendigo, the largest conference complex in regional Victoria, from the smallest to the largest delegation, with seating for over 1,000 people for dinner, luxury accommodation, elegant dining, and an outstanding gaming area. No wonder it's been judged best property in the flag group in Australia and New Zealand. The All Seasons International in Bendigo. There's no other venue quite like it.
The people at RACV have decided not to give you the phone number. You don't have to phone them up. You can walk down in person to one of the local RACV shops and speak to them about home, contents, or car insurance. And so, no need for the phone number. And to be honest, I don't think there's any need for the blue screen. Or me.
Well, we're going to be diving for the calculators later this afternoon. You can see the scoreline, 65 points to lead at the moment for Richmond over Fremantle here at halftime. The Tigers really putting themselves in a pretty good position to make the semi-finals, depending on what happens this afternoon out at Colonial Stadium. Well, let's have a look at some of the highlights of the first half, and surprisingly, they're all Richmond pretty much.
Absolutely. What about that one for Marcus, a Warwick Capo take? He's pretty happy with it as a supporter. Put the hands on the shoulders briefly, but up and over. Bowden, it's Hilton, Roy Hilton goes back, takes a big mark and kicks a goal. Here they've just been really good around winning the loose balls around the pack, and here we are, the captain, Wayne Campbell, comes through, kicks it to the fat side, and I think this is the first one for the day, but he's gone back, Big Ottens, and has kicked, I think, 4 for the day. So pretty good player. Peter Bell's been pretty quiet, hasn't done a lot so far, but it's been under enormous pressure. Very few times have they gone through forward, and here we are. Off the side of the boot, it's my call, but I'm sure he'll claim it. Tony Modra has been pretty well held by Darren Gasper, goes back and kicks a pretty good goal there.
You wouldn't want to be a forward today, though, for Freo, would you? I mean, the way they've not been able to deliver the ball into the forward line, in contrast to Richmond, which have had open forward line, and Otten's pushing forward all the time.
He's pushed forward beautifully, and they've just had plenty of space because they've moved the ball so quickly from half back. They just found plenty of space, but on the other side of the coin, Fremantle has been very slow, very indecisive. Handballs are hitting the ground and it's going too slowly into the forward line. and the Richmond blokes are just zoning back and taking the ball away.
Ottens has the ability, doesn't he, to be just a dominating player in the league. He potentially could be a top 10 player somewhere down the track. He's had 11 possessions and 6 marks, 4 goals today.
Yeah, well, he's certainly taken the game by the scruff of the neck here today. Pushing forward, starts in the ruck at the centre bounces. Ray Hall then covers for him and he goes forward. But Joe Bowden's been fantastic. 11 possessions and 2 goals. Just needs to improve his consistency, but he's going to be one of those class players for Richmond this year.
And Hilton, we saw take the mark. He's had 13 possessions. He's kicked 3 goals. And he's going to be a pretty valuable player for them if he can continue this sort of form. I guess the one shining light up forward, as we've said it several times, for Fremantle is young Daniel Shell. Yeah, he has moved forward very well, led very strongly, and his kicking's been pretty accurate too. He's gone forward, kicked a few goals, and but he's made it pretty hard by his teammates not winning enough of the ball midfield. We just saw a great handball there by Matthew Nice. He's only had about 2 kicks. He's had 7 hand passes and set up about 3 goals. Off a half-forward line, he's been very, very good. Well, they've all got into it, haven't they? The action, no doubt about that. Rogers on that occasion. At half-time, 13-7-85 to 3 goals, 2-20. And as we said, that gives them a pretty good chance of making it through to the semi-finals. As we have a look at the match stats, and the Tigers, well, obviously going to dominate with number of possessions they had, and the efficiency as well, much more improved there. Look at that one down the bottom, 32 to 15. It says it all that Richmond have had the ball inside their 50 so many more times, and most of the times they've gone through, they've marked, and in marks, 34 marks to 20, but inside that forward 50, Fremantle have had hardly any, but Richmond have had a lot. So the Tigers totally dominating here. This was the situation going into today. I mentioned at the start of the coverage that they needed to win by 20 points or more, Richmond, but the fact that they've kept Fremantle so low means that they didn't actually have to win by that much. And obviously the way it's going, it looks like they're going to win by a lot more. So the task for Hawthorn and Melbourne is going to be extremely difficult. We'll take a break and come back and see just how difficult it's going to be. The final margin to be decided this afternoon, and maybe Fremantle can get back and make more of a contest. A break and then the start of the second half.
When Ali meets Larry, only they can keep them apart.
I'm dating a father and son.
It happens.
And only she can unite them.
I'm suing you for defamation, you total I'm here to hire you.
You're the one. If you've ever felt love's bittersweet magic.
I've been meaning to ask you something for a while now.
Don't miss this all-new Ali.
He's married.
Monday, 8:30.
Up to 70,000 thoughts every day. Eyes, which can differentiate between 10 million different colors. Hearing, that detects frequencies between 20 and 20,000 hertz. And 656 muscles, 17 of which are moving when he smiles. When we develop digital technology, we know who it's for. LG, life's good.
Someone friendly.
Sound advice.
No pushing one brand down my throat.
Can't say I care that much, but I want someone who does.
To drive in with a problem and away without one.
At Tyre Power, we love tyres, so you don't have to.
Take the hat off. Don't ask for cigarettes, you'll get them later.
Okay, cuffs off. Listen in, when you hear your name called, I want your date of birth. Paul Oakley.
10-7-71.
5 years with a 3-year minimum. Joe McInnes, 1968. Sentence, 12 months. Scott Shoebridge. 27/9/72. Okay, whilst you're in this prison, if you have any concerns about your safety, see one of the staff members and we'll deal with it.
If you're looking for rugby union and AFL action this year, look no further than Austar. Because Austar has full coverage of every explosive game of Super 12s, plus the excitement of the British Lions and Tri-Nations tours. And we have every action-packed game of every round of AFL. So if sport switches you on, get switched on to Austar before the season starts. Call 132-432 now.
What's an AXA? They help my grandparents get money every month so we can have riding lessons.
For AXA superannuation, see your financial advisor.
Eye test today, nothing to pay.
It's the Specialised Optical Guarantee. Come into Specialised Optical, have your eyes tested and bulk billed to Medicare the same day.
Eye test today, nothing to pay.
Guaranteed at Specialised Optical, Lancel Plaza.
Isn't this exciting? The All Seasons International Hotel now gives brides-to-be an even greater choice. The Conservatory. They've created a truly international hotel-style wedding venue right here in Bendigo. It's perfect. Everything's here, from an indoor service, oh, doesn't she look lovely, right through to a service in the gardens. And it's ideal for wedding photos. The Conservatory at the All Seasons International Hotel Bendigo. There's no other venue like it.
About to start the second half here at Optus Oval. Richmond well and truly in control, leading by 65 points. Players getting into position. Let's go down to Craig Hutchison on the boundary.
Yes, thanks, Hutto. Fremantle obviously very disappointed at half-time with their midfield in particular. That's been the area they've won in the first two Ansett Cup games. Already we've seen Adrian Fletcher back down here on the bench. Doesn't look too happy with his day's proceedings. Richmond, we saw Haynes and Mills introduced just before half-time. They'll be mindful of injecting some of these younger players in the second half also.
Thanks, Hutchie. So Daniel Bandy, Peter Bell will be looking for a much better first half, but that man Brad Ottens will just hope it continues. 4 goals and 6 marks, 11 possessions for Ottens. Third quarter underway. Hall over the top of Bandy, got the tap, but King had to work pretty hard to try and get the Tigers going. Bell back into traffic. Bandy. Free kick to Bandy. Cook left in the wake there. Good low disposal. Gave the chance for Modra, and he might get a free. And a couple of frees. And a shot at goal. I guess Fremantle will be pretty happy with that start to the quarter.
Look, I think the best thing out of that whole passage of play was the fact that Daniel Bandy moved back as quick as he could off the mark and drilled the ball in quickly just to give the forwards an opportunity to have a one-on-one contest. And if they're occupying front position, more often than not, they'll get the ball.
He pushed it a bit to the right and a bit too much by the look of that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether Richmond's intensity is as good in the second half. What can tend to happen is if you win the first half pretty easily, you come out and take liberties in the second half, and then the game can turn around pretty quickly.
Absolutely, but I guess one thing that we should try and stop that is they know that every goal that they kick, there's another one that the other teams have to kick at Colonial if they're going to win this afternoon.
It's a great kick from Cameron from full back. I mean, he's hit it to the point of the square.
Chappie.
Patrick Steinford there, Hutto, on the boundary line on crutches. Not a good sign for him.
No, he's had a lot of trouble over the years too. Just trying to get fit to get into the senior team. So that is very disappointing. Hall just didn't control it as well as he would have liked. Tivendale. Cook. Chappie. Knights.
He's got the numbers, the Tigers.
Yeah. Bitterscombe and Knights. Now they've got loose men everywhere on the wing. Clinton King just feeding it into Callaway. Good low disposal. Feeding Dragicevic. Ottens is down in the square where he's been all day when they've been going into attack. He's pushing, he's shoving, he's getting ready. Just couldn't hang on to it. Good work back there from Bootsma and Bell to clean up. Bandy wanted to use Black. Instead he can go out wider. Dodd onto the wing. Pavlich, the delivery wasn't great, but it was in front of him at least and gave him a chance. McManus had no one in support. Dodd, Pavlich again. Simpson just wouldn't sit for him.
One too many hand passes.
Chappie. Beautifully spotted. Dragicevic. Oh, he didn't take the mark, but his recovery and his shot at goal, not quite as he would have liked.
Well, Fremantle just overdoing the handballs, just bringing one too many into the passage of play. Rather than giving your forwards a chance and bang in nice and quickly, they tried to mess around with the handball, turned it over, and then before they knew it, the ball's down in the Richmond full forward line.
Parker. Down the middle. And that's a terrific grab by Grover. Quickly, Fremantle into attack. Hazelby pushed back. Callaway not able to take it. Burke back onto the ball. He just left it behind. Hazelby shell. A little wild with the handball. Tapped over by Simpson. High tackle. Roger Hayden.
And he's going to get back and set the play up quickly before all the Richmond players flood back.
Might be a bit late. They're pushed back pretty quickly.
Yep, good lead.
And well passed too. Honoured the lead. Just popped it up in front. And Pavlich.
Well, this is the guy they've got to get into the game. I mean, he really is capable of taking a game by the scruff of the neck at centre-half forward, Pavlich. He's a big, strong fellow. He leads particularly well. He's a pretty good roost of the ball. But unfortunately, for the Dockers, he and Modric just haven't seen anywhere near enough of the ball this afternoon.
So Matthew Pavlich, can Fremantle kick the first goal of the second half? Well, not yet, anyway.
The chances few and far between for the Dockers. The one thing they can't do at the moment is waste it, because if they don't get a reward for their efforts, they really could fold.
Campbell just couldn't quite get Hall, but he had good numbers around him. Hilton, he just knew what he was doing as he came in, got the disposal off quickly to King. Now Knights. Dragicevic is lurking, went longer than that, and that's a good mark by Heath Black. And he has got a few players peeling off to either side, one of them Bell.
It's a poor
tough
error.
bounce
Poor
for
error.
Bell. Black went and got his own ball back again. Carr versus Knights. And Carr just straight over the line.
Just a poor miss by Heath Black on the counter-attack. First kick must hit, otherwise your counter-attack is no good.
13-8 to 3-4. Bandy and Hall again. Bandy got the tap at Daffy. Made the escape. Hilton. Bowden in front. Grover the spoiler. Parker in support. Grover wobbles one and just wobbled it a bit far. 13-8 to 3-4. And Campbell kicking it high. Didn't kick it exactly how he wanted to, but Dragicevic playing in front takes the mark.
Well, luck's a fortune, and the one thing a forward will always get is a bad kick if he's standing in front. If the ball drops short, the spot to be is in front. Dragicevic did that, kept his eye on the ball, and in the end he took a pretty good mark from a very awkwardly floating ball.
So Mark Dragicevic, 7 possessions today. Kicked 2 behinds until now, but now he's put through his first.
Here's a fantastic offer from CSR Monier Wonderlick. Always wanted terracotta but thought it was out of reach? Want to add prestige and increase the resale value of your new home? Now with the special Wonderlick terracotta tile offer, you can afford the very best roof money can buy. Ideal for traditional and contemporary homes. No other quality roofing product can match this special offer. And Wonderlick tiles come with a 50-year guarantee on performance and colour. Ask your builder or Wonderlick approved distributors about terracotta tiles. Wonderlick, the lasting beauty of terracotta.
14-8 to 3-4 now. Margin 70 points. And here they go again. Hilton just pumping this one. Fiora lurking, as is Bowden. It got through to Fiora, who took the mark. King, low kick. Ottens pushes to the front. Jones made a good spoil and followed up his work well. Locked in by Rogers, though. Good footy.
Yeah, look, he did well, Anthony Jones. He affected the spoil, and then he kept his momentum going towards the footy. But Matthew Rogers, that's the sort of work you're looking for from your forwards. If you haven't got the ball, the best thing you do is put pressure on the opposition, and have a look at the way that he just wraps him up. Coming front on, that's the perfect tackle.
Ottens the tap, put it in front of Fiora. Black. And it's out of bounds. Black, the leading possession winner for Fremantle. 10 kicks, 3 handballs. Carr's had 7, Cook 8, Dodd 9, Walker also 8, Parker 11. Bandy in front, got it down, but beautifully read. King, get it across. Ottens for goal number 5, and he puts it through.
This telecast has been made possible by the support of Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning.
Take 5 at the Murray Downs Resort. 5 nights luxury accommodation, 5 breakfasts, 5 meals, and 5 magnificent days of golf, all for just $449. Because life is full of ups at Murray Downs.
So Brad Alton's now 6 marks, 12 possessions, 9 hitouts, and 5 goals won. As the Tigers march on and towards a place in the semi-finals. Just killing them, still out of the middle. That's a good defensive mark. Again, it's Norwich taking the grab. Had a pretty quiet day though. Switching play to Dodd on the outer side. Now it's a one-on-one battle on the wing. The Hall over the top, Bandy. Ball kept the footing and wins the footy. Rogers charged out at Dragicevic, just couldn't spin onto it. Parker knocked it away. Rogers again. Daffy breaks clear, running past Clinton King, set up the last one, and this time he goes for it himself. Hilton was on his own in the goal square, but I guess a pass to him would have been a little tough in that situation, out on the full.
Absolutely criminal at the moment, the Dockers, the way they are just paying no respect, showing no responsibility for the state of the game. Absolutely criminal.
Bell takes the mark. Well, we know the Ansett Cup is, for a lot of teams, more about preparation for the main season than anything else.
Well, it is, Hutto, but
a match like this must be shattering to their confidence.
I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter what circumstances you're playing under. When you are getting flogged, as the Dockers are, at some stage of proceedings, you have to take responsibility and say, well, we've just got to tighten up here. But they are just running around with no respect for their opponents. They're rolling the dice, and you can't do that when you're 12 goals down. It doesn't work.
Hilton. Fiora couldn't take it. Parker in front. (15-8 to 3-4). We're getting towards the middle stages of the third quarter here at Optus Oval. Hall over the top. Parker ridden into the ground a little bit by Rogers. Black quick with the handball. Hazelby, Daffy, Grover, Hazelby. Hilton in support was Chaffee. Oh, great work by young Hayden. Excellent stuff. And it's out of bounds. Well, there's a bit of desperation that they need to show from the young man. Good tackle. Ball gets to the front. Holding on. Free kick going Hall's way. Bandy can't believe it.
Wasn't much in that, I don't think, but Richmond, I'm sure, will be happy to take it.
Biddiscombe charging out of defence to receive and set it up. Otton's behind that time, though. Jones takes the mark. Looking to lay off using Bell, but Bell had to swing right around to try and find a path out of defence, and even then, Hazelby was never in really good position. Clinton King had a pretty good game for the Tigers, as most of their runners have.
They have. There's just no system for the Dockers game at the moment. Even when they break out of defence, there's just no particular system to their style of play.
Goes for Ottens, and that's well done by Jones. He goes short. It was pretty well placed in the end, the kick. Matthew Carr takes it. Former Saints had 8 possessions now for the Dockers today. Bootsma, who's done a few nice things since he came onto the ground in the second quarter, sets it up towards centre-half forward. Pavlich's not in position. Oh, Hilton again was up. He spoiled at the last minute, which was good. Good running from Hayden, who's been a shining light as far as their young players are concerned. Off the ground. And Pavlich does, well, he kept it in. Still it's alive, now it's not.
You got a feel for Craig Biddiscombe. He got absolutely poleaxed in that marking competition. I think it was his teammate Rory Hilton that came over the top. Absolutely poleaxed him. I think he got the hip right under the rib cage.
Campbell, as Richmond again work it off their halfback. Clinton King, space to run in.
It's good running.
Chaffee.
Look at the loose players.
Chaffee. Hilton running past, but he goes longer to Rogers. Beautifully paced kick. Rogers has got Ottens. He's got Tivendale. He went for Tivendale. Bandy to spoil, but Tivendale held his ground.
In all seriousness, this just about resembles a training drill for the Tigers at the moment. The way that the Dockers... And I don't understand when you're this far down how you can allow not just anyone, but the key players in the Tigers side, the Campbells, the Daffys, the Knights, and these sort of players, to run free is just unbelievable.
Now from 40, the kick was superb, and it's right through for another one.
Wednesday, 7:30.
She's incompetent.
I know the guys are blaming us.
The claws are out.
She's stupid.
And the game's never been more serious.
Quick, quick, quick.
Who's doing the dirty work? Wednesday in the Mall. It's the one thing in life you should never, ever do. Get cheeky with Cornelia.
Michael, why Gillian?
She was reminding me of you.
Really?
A weakest link not to miss.
Goodbye.
7:30 Monday.
16-8 to 3-5. King using Campbell, using Tivendale. Otten's in front. Went to ground, no free kick from Dodd. Laying it off, Norwich. Good disposal, McManus. Cook made a lead up the ground. Goes longer, so did Waterhouse, who did well. Didn't mark it, but gave it a chance for Cook. Free kick. Oh, gee. Someone's got to try and square it up.
I thought it was a pretty good tackle. He tried to stay out of his back, and he carried the player with him. Gee, that's a harsh decision.
Pulled him to the side, didn't he?
King, good hands through the middle there. Allowed Burke to get it. Run it off Fiora. Daffy. Dragicevic in front. Norwich trying to stop him, but nothing can stop Dragicevic getting through. Knights lead from Hilton. Waited back for Dragicevic. He'll pass it, but would have been nice to see him have a shot for goal.
That was a sensational leap. Brad Otten's going for the big ride over the top, and he went a day and a half early, and he nearly hung up there long enough.
Clinton Kings had a fantastic third quarter, already with 10 positions, 16 for the game.
Good spoil from Rogers, late on Dodd. Black, they're just everything under pressure at the moment. Pavlich's kick was a low one. Oh, Hazelby had to get the hands working quicker than that. Fletcher just dropped it, and he's going to be penalised. Can't believe it. Cameron takes it on the rebound. Dragicevic also had a great quarter. 70 from goal, low pass straight for Parker. Dragicevic has now had 11 possessions. You can hear the Tiger faithful too, just giving it to the umpire every time Fremantle gets a free kick. You wouldn't know the score is 16-9 to 3-5. Bandy looking for Waterhouse, who gave a nice little shove out there to try and find the footy. Good work from Hazelby in tight. Hayden's kick. Burke in front, just got the hands to the ball to make sure he didn't give away a free.
See, I thought he was going to kick it then. That would have been a certain 50 if he let that ball go.
And you almost would have understood if he had done it, wouldn't you? Almost. Just a bit clumsy as he tried to charge through.
See, look at Daffy on his own in the middle. They're everywhere, the Tigers.
Bitterscombe. Tough for Dragicevic that time, had 3 to beat. Pavlich has gone back into defence. It's good work from Burke to get hands to the ball, but Carr escaping with it. Shell too far out to get a good shot at goal. Bandy is behind Hall, and Hall almost took the mark. Did really well then to get it through for a behind. The Tigers. Fantastic performance by Richmond. Hard to measure just how good it is, given that it's been a very disappointing performance by Fremantle, but you must give a great deal of credit, I guess, to the Tigers, as Otten's one of the stars of the game, comes from the ground. Virgil comes on. Virgil.
Tigers are starting to take the foot off the pedal a little bit now. They've got Hilton and King, two of their better midfield players, resting at this stage in the third quarter.
And Steinford's injury, guys, is a left knee, the same one that he had hurt seriously in the last couple of years, so let's hope it's not a serious reoccurrence.
Heath Black Gee, Pavlich.
Oh,
strange thinking to play on in that situation. Chaffee. Now a chance. McManus, can he kick straight? Yes. Finally a Fremantle goal in this third quarter.
For years, animals have been trying to tell us something.
Hey, honey.
And now they can. Tonight.
Don't fix me. I won't look at another female ever. Yo, baby.
Eddie Murphy has heard the call of the wild.
I'm cute, I'm furry, and I make 500 babies a year.
Get back in your cage.
For the first time.
I'd like to go in manually.
What's he saying?
You don't want to know.
Hello. Do a little dance. Make a little love.
Stop talking to me!
Get down tonight.
The smash hit Dr. Dolittle. 8:30 tonight.
What a day for Rory Hilton. 18 possessions, 3 goals, 1. Ottens is also on the bench now, so the Tigers also rotating their players. We're getting late in the third quarter. Matthew Knights.
His handball's been fantastic today.
So creative. Daffy didn't, well, maybe he did look. Virgil from the side. Pavlich takes the mark. And yes, I am struggling with his pronunciation, James. McManus. That's a shot. Summing up Fremantle's whole day. They've kicked 4 goals, 6 in just under 3/4 of footy. Oh, that's an easy mark taken by Pavlich. Going short, Carr. Still not much as far as an outlet. Now the umpire says you've got to play on.
I have no idea why it's play on.
Must have gone off his line, or according to the umpire anyway. Bandy actually did pretty well in the end. Pavlich also. Bell back to Bandy. And a nicely placed kick to Shell. Waterhouse is down at full forward with Modra if he goes long. Modra makes a lead into the pocket. Shell going for the central option.
Oh, that's a dangerous kick.
It was, but it was pretty good in the end. For Fletcher. Still too far to score. Goes for Modra. Low pass. It was good. Good, positive, strong lead. And he hasn't had a sniff today, Modra, but mainly because the ball just hasn't been there.
I'm glad that someone finally rewarded his leads with a pass, because he's seeing the ball about as often as Haley's Comet at the moment. It's quite frightening. The last 3 or 4 times he's led, he's been totally ignored, and he must be feeling very frustrated.
Probably the one before that, Jason, he was on, and they decided to kick to that real dangerous spot, and it was pretty lucky that Fletcher ended up getting it. But poor Tony...
As is often the case when you're starved of opportunities, you forget how to kick the ball.
It was overcast last time, Haley's Comet. 16-9 to 4-7. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Gaspar enjoying some space up the field. Daffy.
This is ridiculous.
They are everywhere across half forward. Zilla. A long lead out from Campbell.
Oh, smart footy.
Yeah, Mills' kick just run down. Goes again, Mills. Campbell. Parker towards the line. And Callaway sees it safely over and out. 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. And don't forget, on the web you can get onto i7.com.au and get all the latest photos of the Ansett Cup action at our website and all the updated scores and information. Parker. Dragicevic. I reckon the Tiger fans will be going for the I7 this afternoon just to make sure the score is right.
Well, we're looking for any positive from a doctor's point of view. At least Matthew Pavlich has had it 11 times this quarter, and he's taken 6 marks. But the tragedy of the whole matter is he's had to go deep down into defence to actually find the ball.
Peter Bell being taken off now, boys, as the replacement footy comes out off the roof.
Only 11 touches today, Peter Bell, normally in the 30s.
And they haven't been able to be effective, have they, the touches that he's had. He must be just wondering, well, he must be really noticing the difference between his old team and his new team. Black up onto the wing. Yeah, well picked up. Centre half forward. Shell again flying. Good tackle on Simpson. Hayden in there as well. Chaffee over the top. like Matthew Knight's also coming off and having a rest. And Aaron Fiora, who's had a pretty good game for them, shown some promise. Daffy's kick smothered. Bandy over the top. Ball trying to feed it out. Hayden got it on the end from Simpson, and from 30 out. Again, just couldn't convert. So 4-8 now. Fremantle, 12 scoring shots compared to 25.
Young Hayden has been all right for a youngster for the Fremantle Duckers in this team today.
Bit of spin of debris. Who knows, though?
No, there's a lot of... 32. It's a massacre at Optus Oval. Brad Ottens has kicked 5. And, well, you wouldn't blame them for turning the other way in the Fremantle Dockers coaching box. A lot to talk about there. Back with the last quarter in just a moment.
It's hard being a lovebird in the 21st century, but this babe knows how to impress her man.
Norman likes a good magazine. She reckons a few extra tail feathers